Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about American killer Samuel Little. If I pronounce any names or countries wrong, I do apologize. Samuel Little was born on June 7th, 1940 in Reynolds, Georgia, to a mother he claimed was a prostitute. Soon after his birth, Little's family moved to Lorain, Ohio, where he was brought up mainly by his grandmother. He attended Hawthorne Junior High School, where he had problems with discipline and achievement. By his own account, he began having sexual fantasies about strangling women as a child, starting when he saw his kindergarten teacher touching her neck as a teenager. He collected true crime magazines depicting women being choked. In 1956, after being convicted of breaking and entering into property in Omaha, Nebraska, Little was held in an institution for juvenile offenders. Little moved to Florida to live with his mother in the late 1960s, working at various times as a cemetery worker and an ambulance attendant by his own account. He said he then began traveling more widely and had more run-ins with the law, being arrested in 8 states for crimes that included driving under the influence, fraud, shoplifting, solicitation, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and rape. Little claimed he took up boxing during his stints in prison, referring to himself as a former prize fighter. In 1961, Little was sentenced to 3 years in prison for breaking into a furniture store in Lorain. He was released in 1964. By 1975, he had been arrested 26 times in 11 states for crimes including theft, assault, attempted rape, fraud, and attacks on government officials. In 1982, Little was arrested in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and charged with the murder of 22-year-old Melinda Rose Lepre, who had gone missing in September of that year. A grand jury declined to indict him for the murder. However, while under investigation, Little was extradited to Florida and tried for the murder of 26-year-old Patricia Ann Mount, whose body was found in September 1982. Prosecution witnesses identified Little in court as a person who spent time with Mount on the night before her disappearance. Due to mistrust of witness testimonies, Little was acquitted in January 1984. Little moved to California, where he stayed in the vicinity of San Diego in October 1984. He was arrested for kidnapping, beating, and strangling 22-year-old Lori Barrows, who survived. 1 month later, he was found by police in the back seat of his car with an unconscious woman, also beaten and strangled, in the same location as the attempted murder was of Barrows. Little served 2.5 years in prison for both crimes. Upon his release in February 1987, he immediately moved to Los Angeles and committed at least 10 additional murders. Little was arrested on September 5, 2012 at a homeless shelter in Louisville, Kentucky, and extradited to California to face narcotics charge, after which authorities used DNA testing to establish that he was involved in the murders of Carol Eileen Alford, killed on July 13, 1987, Guadalupe Duarte Apodaca, killed on September 3, 1987, and Audrey Nelson Everett, killed on August 14, 1989. All 3 women were killed and later found on the streets of Los Angeles. He was extradited to Los Angeles, where he was charged on January 7, 2013. A few months later, the police said that Little was being investigated for involvement in 36 murders committed in the 1980s, which until then have been undisclosed in connection with the new circumstances in Mississippi. The Lepre murder case was reopened. In total, Little was tested for involvement in 93 murders of women committed in many U.S. states. Little was tried for the murders of Alford, Nelson, and Apodaca in September 2014. The prosecution presented the DNA evidence as well as testimony of witnesses who were attacked by the accused at different times throughout his criminal career. On September 25, 2014, Little was found guilty and was sentenced to life imprisonment without possibility of parole. On the day of the verdict, Little continued to insist on his innocence. Before his death, Little was serving a sentence at the California State Prison, Los Angeles County. On November 9, 2018, Little confessed to the 1996 fatal strangulation of Melissa Thomas. On November 13, 2018, Little was charged with the 1994 murder of Denise Christie brothers in Odessa, Texas, after having confessed the crime to a Texas Ranger in May 2018. Little pleaded guilty to the murder of brothers on December 13 and received another life sentence. The Ector County, Texas District Attorney and Wise County, Texas Sheriff's Office announced on November 13th that Little had confessed to dozens of murders and may have committed more than 90 across 14 states between 1970 and 2005. On November 15th, 2018, the Russell County, Alabama District Attorney announced that Little had earlier that month confessed to the 1979 murder of 23-year-old Brenda Alexander, whose body was found in Phoenix City, Alabama. On November 16, 2018, Mason, Georgia Sheriff's announced that Little had credibility confessed to the 1977 strangling murder of an identified woman and the 1982 strangling murder of 18-year-old Fredenia Smith. In the fall of 2018, Little confessed to the 1982 murder of 55-year-old Dorothy Richards and the 1996 murder of 40-year-old Daisy McGuire. Both of their bodies were found in Houma, Louisiana. On November 19, 2018, Harrison County, Mississippi Sheriff Troy Peterson said that Little had confessed to strangling 36-year-old Julia Critchfield in the Gulfport area in 1978 and dumping her body off a cliff. On November 20th, 2018, Lee County, Mississippi law enforcement officials announced that Little had admitted to killing 46-year-old Nancy Carol Stevens in Tupelo, Mississippi in 2005, and the case would be presented to a grand jury in January 2019. On November 21, 2018, Richland County, South Carolina authorities announced that Little had confessed to murdering 19-year-old Evelyn Weston, whose body was found near Fort Jackson, South Carolina in 1978. Little confessed to having killed 20-year-old Rosie Hill in Marion County, Florida in 1982. On November 27, 2018, the Federal Bureau of Investigation announced that a violent criminal apprehension program team had confirmed 34 of Little's confessions and was working to match the remainder of Little's confessions to known murders or suspicious deaths. Little began making the confessions in exchange for a transfer out of the Los Angeles County Prison in which he was being held. One included his confession to a previous cold case homicide in Prince George's County, Maryland. Previously, one of only 2 homicide cases in that country were unidentified victims. In December 2018, Little was indicted for strangling Linda Sue Boards, 23, to death in May 1981 in Warren County, Kentucky. Her body was found on May 15, 1981, near U.S. Route 68. One of Little's victims was identified in December 2018 as Martha Cunningham of Knox County, Tennessee, who was 34 years old when Little murdered her in 1975. On May 31, 2019, Cuyahoga County, Ohio, prosecutors announced indictments with 4 counts of aggravated murder and 6 counts of kidnapping that accused Little of killing Mary Jo Payton in 1984 and Rose Evans in 1991 in Cleveland. Both victims were strangled and dumped. The body of Rose Evans, 32, was found on August 24, 1991 in a vacant lot on East 39th Street. She left her hometown of Binghamton, New York, when she was 17. Evans had been strangled according to coroner Elizabeth K. Belrage. As for Payton, an anthropologist had to create a model of what she looked like, but she remained unidentified until 1992 when Cleveland put her thumbprint in an FBI database and got a match. Little picked up Payton at a bar near East 105th and Euclid Avenues. He described her as a short, plump woman in her 20s with brown hair. Little confessed to killing another Cleveland woman in 1977 or 1978. The women murdered in 1977 or 1978 was found on March 18, 1983 in Willoughby Hills, Ohio. According to the National Missing and Identified Persons Systems, she was likely black and somewhere between 17 and 35 years old. The woman's body had been dumped down a grassy slope near a fence in a wooded area just off Interstate 271. When her body was found by a man walking his dog, only her skeleton, some clothing, and jewelry remained. Little confessed to killing one woman in Akron, Ohio, 2 in Cincinnati. One of the bodies was dumped outside of Columbus, Ohio, and one woman he met in Columbus and disposed of in Kentucky. Of the 2 women Little murdered in Cincinnati, one was identified as Anna Stewart, 33, whose body was dumped in Grove City, Ohio. Stewart was last seen on October 6, 1981, getting out of a cab at General Hospital to see her sister in the hospital, now University of Cincinnati Academic Health Center. She was killed on October 11th. He killed the other woman between 1980 and 1999. The Jane Doe was anywhere from 15 to 20, as the details of her age and the date of her murder are unclear. She was black, slender, wore glasses, and lived in the Over-the-Rhine neighborhood of Cincinnati with a heavy female Hispanic. Little left her beside a cigarette billboard in Ohio. On June 7, 2019, Little was indicted in Hamilton County, Ohio, for murdering the 2 women killed in Cincinnati. Little had drawn portraits of many women he killed. These portraits were released by the FBI in hopes of someone identifying the women. At least one portrait solved a cold case in Akron, Ohio. In November 2020, Little confessed to 2 Florida officers, for one of which another man had been wrongfully convicted. According to the FBI, Little confessed to the murders of the following individuals. He provided sketches for 26 of them. Not all of these individuals have been confirmed to be linked to specific known murders unless noted. Mary Jo Brosley died December 31st, 1970, Homestead, Florida. White female, approximately 33. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Linda, 1971, Miami, Florida. Black female, approximately 22. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Marianne, 1971 to 1972, Miami, Florida. Black transgender female, approximately 18. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1971 to 72, Miami, Florida. Possibly affiliated with the Air Force. Unnamed white female, 1972, Prince George's County, Maryland. Approximately 20 to 25. His confession was matched to a known Jane Doe case, possibly from Massachusetts. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed white female, 1973, Kendall, Florida. Approximately 45, possibly from Massachusetts. Both 1973 victims are described to possibly have the first name Sarah. Sarah Brown, 1973, New Orleans, Louisiana. Age unknown, worked at a local restaurant on Canal Street. Unnamed black female, 1974, Savannah, Georgia. Approximately 22 or 23. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1974, Cincinnati, Ohio. Age unknown, and dumps her body in Columbus, Ohio. Little provided a sketch of this victim, authorities working on a case. Emily, mid-1970s, Miami, Florida. Black female, approximately 23 or 24, possibly worked at the University of Miami. Unnamed black female, 1974, Knoxville, Tennessee, approximately 25. Unnamed black female, 1976 to 77, Wichita Falls, Texas. Age unknown, disposal location of body unspecified, stated to be near the city. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Joe, 1976 to 79, Granite City, Illinois. Black female, approximately 26, may have picked her up in St. Louis, Missouri. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1976-79, East St. Louis, Illinois. Age unknown, possibly picked up in St. Louis, Missouri. Unnamed black female, 1976 to 79 or 1993. Houston, Texas. Age unknown, little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1977, Mason, Georgia. Approximately 30 to 40, his confession was matched to an existing Jane Doe case. Clara Birdlong, 1977, Pascagoula, Mississippi. Approximately 35 to 45, possibly met in Gulfport, but native to Pascagoula, and worked in Inglis shipyard. Confession matched to an existing Jane Doe case. Little provided a sketch of his victim, also known as the Jackson County Jane Doe or Escatapawa Jane Doe, the name used by officers because of where her remains were found. Her remains were identified in 2021 by way of genetic genealogy techniques. Unnamed black female, 1977 or 1978, Cleveland, Ohio. Unknown age, which authorities are still working on that case. On June 2, 2019, she was identified as a black female and petite, somewhere between 20 and 35 years old. Little dumped her body down a grassy slope near a fence in a wooded area just off Interstate 271 in Willoughby Hills, Ohio. The body was found in 1983 on March 18th, according to the National Missing and Identified Persons System, and believed she was 17 to 24 years old. Unnamed black female, 1977-78, Plant City, Florida. Age unknown, apparently met in the Clearwater, Florida. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1977 or 1982, Charleston, South Carolina. Approximately 28, Little provided a sketch of his victim. Patricia Parker, 1980-81, Dade County, Georgia, approximately 25 to 30. This confession was matched to an unknown Jane Doe case on October 8, 2020. Hamilton County Sheriff's Department positively identified Patricia Parker by DNA match. Unknown black female, 1980-84, Gulfport, Mississippi, approximately 22. Unnamed black female, 1981, Atlanta, Georgia, approximately 35 to 40. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed white female, 1982, New Orleans, Louisiana. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Confession matched to a Jane Doe. White female between 33 and 34 years old, killed in 1982. Unnamed black female, 1982, New Orleans, Louisiana. 30 to 40 years old, 5'8 to 5'9 tall, weighing 160 pounds, with honey-colored brown skin and medium-length straight hair. He remembers that she was wearing a pretty dress with buttons on the front. Little said they met in a club where she was attending a birthday party with a group of friends, and one of her two sisters. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Melinda Mindy Lepre, 1982, Pascagoula, Mississippi, 22, originally from Florida. Unnamed white female, 1983-84, Atlanta, Georgia, approximately 26, and may have been from Griffin, Georgia. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed female, 1984, near Columbus, Ohio, age unknown. Authorities are still working on the case. Disposes of her body in northern Kentucky. Unnamed black female, 1984, Atlanta, Georgia, approximately 23 to 25, and possibly a college student. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed white female, 1984, northern Kentucky, age unknown, possibly picked up from Columbus, Ohio. Little provided a sketch of his victim, 25-year-old white female outside a strip club. He remembers her as being 5'6", 5'7" tall and 130 to 170 pounds. Little describes her as having short blonde hair and blue eyes with a hippie appearance. Alleged to have a mother in Miami, Florida. Priscilla Baxter Jones, 1984-1990s, West Memphis, Arkansas. Approximately 28 or 29, may have been picked up in Memphis, Tennessee. Little provided a sketch of his victim. Confession matched to a known Jane Doe case. The family of Zena Maria Jones recognized the sketch as their missing relative. A man named Anthony Jones stated the sketch resembled his mother Priscilla Baxter Jones, who was killed in 1997. Samuel Little confessed that he killed this woman and dumped her body in the Mississippi River. Unnamed black female, 1984, San Bernardino, California, approximately 18 to 23. Unnamed black female, 1984, Fort Myers, Florida, age unknown. Unnamed black female, 1984, Tampa, Florida, age unknown. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Frances Campbell, 1984, Savannah, Georgia, approximately 23. Little is suspected of asking Campbell for a date at a bar near the intersection of Montgomery Street and Victory Drive in 1984. Campbell's body was discovered in 1985 on top of a pile of debris from the construction of Interstate 516. Savannah police matched Little's description of Campbell to a missing persons case. At Chatham County, Georgia, grand jury indicted Little in December 2019 for Campbell's murder. Unnamed black female, 1987, Los Angeles, California, age unknown. Unnamed black female, 1987, Los Angeles, California, age unknown. Unnamed black female, 1987, Los Angeles, California, age unknown. Unnamed black female, 1987, Los Angeles, California, approximately 19. Granny, 1987, Los Angeles, California, black female, approximately 50. Unnamed black female, 1987, Los Angeles, California, approximately 22 or 23. Unnamed black female, 1987, Los Angeles, California, approximately 26 or 27. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1987, early 90s, Monroe, Louisiana, approximately 24. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed Hispanic female, 1988 or 1996, Phoenix, Arizona, approximately in her 40s, may have been native to the area. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Jolanda Jones, 1984, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, age 26. Alice Denise Duval, June 11, 1991, Los Angeles, California, black female, approximately 40 to 45. Roberta Tondarich, 1991, Akron, Ohio, age unknown, authorities working on case. ID'd in October 2019. Unnamed black female, 1991 to 92, Los Angeles, California, approximately 20 to 22, may have been from San Francisco. Unnamed black female, 1992, Los Angeles, California, age unknown. Unnamed black female, 1992 to 93, Los Angeles, California, age unknown. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed Hispanic female, 1992 to 93, Los Angeles, California, approximately 24 to 25, may have been from Phoenix. Unnamed black female, 1992-93, April 21st, 94. North Little Rock, Arkansas, age unknown, 24 years old, 5'5", 5'7", tall and approximately 200 pounds, name possibly Ruth. Unnamed black female, 1993, Las Vegas, Nevada. Dark-skinned woman who was approximately 40 years old. She was about 5'5" tall and 110 to 120 pounds. Little believed the woman had naturally short hair but wore a long-haired wig, as depicted in the drawing. He remembered the woman pointing out her son, a black male who was approximately 19 to 23 years old. Unnamed black female, 1996, Los Angeles, California, approximately 23 to 25. T-Money, 1996, Los Angeles, California, black female, approximately 23 to 24. Unnamed white female, 1996, Los Angeles, California, approximately 23 to 25. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Unnamed black female, 1996, Los Angeles, California, approximately 25. Anne, 1997, Phoenix, Arizona. White female, age unknown. Little provided a sketch of this victim. Samuel Little claims to have strangled more than 93 people between 1970 and 2005, though many of his victims' deaths were first ruled as accidental or overdoses. Many of Little's victims' bodies were never found, and the confessions provided along with the sketch could not be matched to known missing person. Little's confessions may not be accurate as the time of his recorded confession, 2019. Nearly 40 years had passed since some of the murders. Marianne, Miami, Florida, 1971 or 72. Little confessed to strangling an 18 or 19-year-old black transgender woman in 1971 or 1972 and leaving her body in the Everglades near Highway 27. Little remembered her name was Marianne or Mary Ann. She was between 5'6", 5'7", weighing about 140 pounds. Little does not believe her body was ever found. Little sketched the victim during one of his confessions in 2019. Ruth, Little Rock, Arkansas, in 1992 or 1994. Little confessed to strangling a 24-year-old black female in 1992 or 1994. She was between 5'5" and 5'7", weighing about 200 pounds. Little recalled he stayed with her for about 3 days as they shoplifted together, and that her name may have been Ruth. Little was arrested for shoplifting from Kroger by the Little Rock police on April 20th, 1994. Little said that after killing her, he placed her body on a pile of branches near a cornfield. Little sketched the victim during one of his confessions in 2019. Covington, Kentucky, 1984. Little confessed to strangling a 25-year-old white female outside of a strip club in 1984. Little remembered she had short blonde hair, blue eyes, and a hippie appearance. She was 5'6", 5'7", weighed between 130 to 170 pounds. He drove the woman south on Interstate 75 towards Miami, Florida, before driving into a hilly area near the highway. After killing her in the backseat of his car, he left her body on the top of a small hill. Little sketched this victim during one of his confessions in 2019. Las Vegas, Nevada, 1993. Little confessed to strangling a thin, black female around 40 years old in 1993. She was about 5'5" and weighed 110 to 120 pounds. Little recalled she may have worn a wig over her short hair. After killing her in a hotel room, Little drove her body to the outskirts of Las Vegas and rolled her body down a steep slope. Little says he does not believe her body was ever found. Little sketched his victim during one of his confessions in 2019. Little had a long-term girlfriend, Jean, since deceased, who supported them both through shoplifting for years. He used a wheelchair and has diabetes and a heart condition. Little died on December 30th, 2020 in a Los Angeles County area hospital. Although California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation sources indicate no final determination as to the specific cause of death, Little suffered from the aforementioned diabetes, heart problems, and other health conditions. Thank you for listening. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and liking my channel, and I will see you on the next one.